Welcome. My name is Annie Morley, and I am the president of the Idaho Virtual Reality Council. We are here today at 360 Immersive doing our live cast for our Student Spotlight. I am here with Audrey Miller, who is a student at Boise State University in their Gaming, Interactive Media, and Mobile Technology program. Did I get that right?
You did, yes.
Okay, good. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks
We're
for
really
having
excited
me.
to have you.
Yeah.
First off, I'd just like to know a little bit about you. So tell us about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm Audrey. I am a student at Boise State University, and I'm studying the science of gaming, interactive media, and mobile technology, as you've said. It's a new degree, so it's a little bit of learning going into it for the whole program, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, great. So what made you decide to choose GIM as a major?
Well,
it's a relatively new program, correct? Like you said.
Yeah. So it was kind of interesting how I got involved in GIM because I was already at the university studying engineering, and it wasn't the best fit for me. I was already doing side projects, learning technology for fun, and I found myself distracted in the degree I was currently studying. So I was looking at options of either leaving university, going back to the professional world and working again, or if I could find a degree that fit the mold I was looking for. And I was actively involved at the College of Innovation and Design, helping them with a few projects here and there, and discovered the GIM program. And as I discovered the GIM program and what it was, I met with Anthony Ellertson. He's the director of GIM.
Okay.
And as I met with him, I found out that this was like a perfect fit because it would allow me the ability to transfer into the emerging technologies without having a back history in it, because I'm transferring from one profession to the next. So it was all project-based learning. It gave me a full portfolio that really helped elevate me from one place to the next and find my role in the industry. So it's been really amazing.
That's awesome. So you and I have talked a lot before about virtual reality and augmented reality, and I know you're really passionate about those areas.
Right.
And you've been able to spend some time in the GIM program working in both virtual and augmented reality. So from that space, tell me a little bit about where you see the biggest opportunities for virtual reality and augmented reality.
Well, virtual reality and augmented reality are very different in what type of products they're going to bring. I see virtual reality benefiting a ton in different worlds like the medical field, and just how we're actually able to help individuals with a mental, a physical state, different areas that actually my passion for virtual reality came from that. I had a personal injury where I was meeting with a friend who had a lot of interest in developing a virtual reality application that would help psychologically adjust the thinking. And as I started looking into how it benefits there, I saw how it can help with our jobs, it can help with training in other professions, and just being able to immerse into a world that is, it's very different. And once you first try it, you're like, wow, you come back out of it, you come back to reality, and you're altered. And that's amazing to me. And in AR, the augmented reality spaces, there's going to be a ton of merged opportunities, and I think the integration of how augmented reality is going to become so natural. So I think even the blend of VR and AR, how they're going to eventually have this merge, it's already happening. You've seen the HoloLens where you can watch somebody in VR building it right in front of you. They're immersed, but you're watching them in an AR space. So they're building it in that, and that to me is just kind of a cool interaction going on. And then just also involving the Internet of Things. So Internet of Things is integrating our things to have, like change, it just makes everything fluid. I mean, we look at the goggles coming out and how I could just be wearing them and I can take care of business as I'm going rather than pulling up my phone and being clunky. And we're seeing it already in things like Snapchat and other areas. So just exciting to, it's kind of unknown what markets, but the opportunity to make ease of access and accessibility just is going to change everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So now you had mentioned that you guys do a lot of project work in the GIM program, and a lot.
Understatement, yes, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what is the most interesting project that you've worked on this year, or since you've been in the GIM program, in virtual reality or augmented reality?
So I've worked on, like I said, a lot of different projects, and my personal favorite, we didn't have a lot of time to invest into. We had another bigger project through the year that was an interactive webcomic. And so there was an augmented reality comic strip we made that was meant to be a comic strip on paper, but once I pull out my phone and scan it, you would then see an animation pop up live a video. And it was a chance to show employers how you would integrate ad space into your they scan, you know, and just to show that connection so that they can even see, like, and we had a theme of like mythological, and that was very different for me, but it was fun to take a personal thing and put it into that and then make it come to life, you know, and that wasn't my first augmented reality. The other project I did wasn't directly in correlation with GIM, but it still goes hand in hand because it's encouraged by Ellerson. You know, he was saying, hey, everyone should be doing this contest and this contest. And so I have a group I work with very actively. It's the IVRC, which is the Augmented Reality and Virtual Reality Alliance. We have been together
and that's
for,
at Boise State,
it is. It's a recognized org at Boise State that we get together and have been learning together and growing together in both these spaces as well. And we built an AR app that was a live simulation training for 3D printers in the makerspace.
Oh, wow,
at Boise
cool.
State. Yeah, and it was for the Boise State Bronco Apathon. They named it funny. But there was 17 teams, I believe, that competed, and we took first place with this. And
that's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We actually had no intentions of trying to win. We were just already going to build this, and so we said, great opportunity to spend a weekend together, and it was. We had our first running prototype in 6 hours, and
wow.
I think that's what helped us become so successful is that we already knew VR, but we didn't know any AR. This was our first time. We were learning. I mean, there's at the very beginning, there's even photos I have of us that we were actually learning in the first 2 hours under a big TV, you know, set it up with YouTubes and this and that. How do we integrate?
So you're just watching YouTube?
Yeah, in the first 2 hours. So
figuring
it's like,
it out.
Most of the teams, a lot of them were more advanced in coding, and we have a lot of skilled programmers in the group too. So the cool thing about it though is that we learned together, we built it together, and we had a prototype where when we stood up and did our pitch with it, the room was almost silent. Like,
that's great.
Wow, you know, like that was so easy to watch and use. And they're like, well, where else can you use this? I said, well, a live training, you know, you think about how that works.
Yeah.
You could have that when emergency response teams, for instance, they pull up and they need to be able to access something right away, a training they forgot or they can't remember where something is, and they look at, like ours was a QR code, but an image that then pops up something, they can push a button and it pops up the resources for them, like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about the ease of access for them and how many more lives they could save by having that immediate training or resource available.
On the spot.
And before we even knew we won, we were approached by a few people that were like, I want this.
That's so cool.
So it was cool for us to even see how we did something fun that turned into like, wow, this
a
really
real applicable product.
And so it was fantastic,
That's so great.
Yeah, so that's a couple of the few.
Yeah. I'm sure the list just goes on and on and on.
Well, and the thing about it is you're so... When Professor Ellison takes you in the first day, he says, I'm going to take over your life. And you're like, okay. And he means it in a way of like, you're going to be so invested or not. And if you're not, you're going to want to leave, and that's great because this isn't the fit for you. But if you invest yourself into these projects, you're going to grow not only as a person, but in the industry and be an innovator. And so that's kind of the cool thing is he really forces you to say, okay, well, I'm fully invested in this program. And then he goes, oh, and there's all these extracurricular things that you can go do. And you should be doing them on top of all of this. So, but it's fantastic.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about your experience. And we're excited to have you as an IVRC member. And
course.
We'll definitely have you back at more events. So
I'll be there.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and we will be back soon with another live cast.